Hello folks and welcome back to Eerie Storytime. Today we return not to the usual eerie shadows but to Norse mythology. More specifically, we venture back to Asgard. A mysterious builder, an impossible deadline, and a secret plan involving a very clever horse, the building of Asgard's wall is a tale from Norse mythology full of trickery, gods, and unexpected consequences. How did the gods nearly get outsmarted? And whose mischievous plan saved them in the end? Are you ready to cross back over the Bifrost? In the beginning there was nothing. Then, from the void, came the world tree, Yggdrasil. Yggdrasil's branches reached towards the heavens. Its roots burrowed deep into the earth. Among its branches lay Asgard, the shining city of the gods. The gods were strong and powerful. But their enemies were many. Giants and monsters lurked at the edges of their world. The gods needed protection. A mighty wall was the answer. This wall would shield Asgard from any threat. One day, a stranger arrived in Asgard. He was unlike anyone the gods had ever seen before. He was a builder, strong and tall, with an air of confidence that was hard to ignore. He offered to build a wall around Asgard, a wall so formidable that no enemy could ever breach it. This wall would be impenetrable, a true marvel of construction that would stand the test of time. But the builder's price was high. He didn't just want gold or treasures. He demanded Freya's hand in marriage, the most beautiful and beloved of all the goddesses. Freya was the goddess of love and beauty, cherished by all who knew her. The gods were shocked by this request. They couldn't believe the audacity of the builder. The builder also wanted the sun and the moon. These demands were outrageous. The sun and moon were vital to the balance of the world. Giving them up would throw the world into darkness. The gods refused, knowing the cost was too great. Loki, the god of mischief, had an idea. He suggested the gods agree to the builder's terms. But there was a catch. The builder had to finish the wall in one winter. It seemed impossible. No one could build a wall so grand in such a short time. The builder agreed, but on one condition: he could use his horse Svaðilfari to help him. The gods didn't see any harm in this. They readily agreed. The builder began his work with determination. He hauled giant stones with incredible speed. Svaðilfari was incredibly strong and relentless. The horse worked tirelessly through the night, never stopping to rest. The wall grew higher and higher, reaching towards the sky. The gods watched in astonishment and growing concern. It seemed the builder would finish on time. Panic spread through Asgard. They had been tricked by the cunning builder. With time running out, the gods turned to Loki. The situation was dire, and the gods were desperate for a solution. They knew that Loki, with his cunning and trickery, might be their only hope. He had gotten them into this mess. Loki's actions had led to the giants' pursuit, and now the gods were in grave danger. The weight of his mistakes bore heavily on him. Now, he had to find a way out. Loki's mind raced as he considered various plans and strategies. He knew that only a bold and unexpected move could save them. Loki's solution was as desperate as it was bizarre. He decided to use his shape-shifting abilities to transform into something completely unexpected. He transformed himself into a beautiful mare. This transformation was not just a simple disguise, it was a calculated move to distract the giant's powerful horse, Svaðilfari. His plan was to lure Svaðilfari away from his work. The plan worked. The giant's horse, entranced by the mare's beauty, followed Loki without hesitation. Svaðilfari was captivated by Loki's equine disguise. The powerful horse could not resist the allure of the mare, and he abandoned his task to follow her. The horse galloped off into the forest, with Loki leading the way. As they disappeared into the dense woods, the gods watched with bated breath, hoping that Loki's daring plan would buy them the time they needed. Without his horse, the builder's progress slowed. He became furious when he realized Loki's trickery. The builder's true form burst forth. He was a giant, huge and terrifying. The gods were now in great danger, but they were prepared. Thor, the god of thunder, stepped forward. He raised his mighty hammer, Mjolnir, and with a crash of thunder he struck the giant down. Months later, Loki returned to Asgard. He had been away on a very unusual journey. He led a magnificent 8-legged horse behind him. This was Sleipnir, the fastest horse in the 9 realms. Sleipnir was Loki's son. The horse was a reminder of Loki's cunning. He had saved Asgard, but at a price. Sleipnir would go on to become Odin's trusted steed. The tale of Asgard's wall is found in the Prose Edda. This is a collection of Norse myths. It was written down in the 13th century by Snorri Sturluson. He was an Icelandic scholar and historian. Snorri aimed to preserve these stories for future generations. However, the stories themselves are much older. They were passed down orally for centuries. Their exact ages and origins are lost to the mists of time. The story of Asgard's wall resonated deeply with ancient audiences. It spoke of the power of cunning and the importance of courage. It also highlighted the complex relationship between gods and giants. This theme of precarious alliances is central to Norse mythology. The story served as both entertainment and moral instruction. It reminded listeners that even the mightiest could be brought low by trickery. And that is a wrap on the tale of the building of Asgard's wall from Norse mythology. Had you heard this tale before? Isn't it interesting that Loki has an 8-legged horse for a son? We've fallen a bit behind with the Norse mythology content and will work to remedy that as we start our 2nd year on the channel, so stay tuned. Thank you all for joining me on today's journey into Norse mythology. I hope you found this tale interesting. Please like and subscribe. Also, I'd love to see your thoughts down in the comments. Until next time.